All right, YouTube, this is Lynn Haven Farms. This is my first video. I've been pretty much watching videos on YouTube for a couple years now. I figured my first video could be an introductory to kind of give you guys insight a little bit on me and the history around here a little bit. We bought this farm back in 1998. And at the start, we didn't really have anything. I mean, this place was in pretty rough shape, but my mom saw potential in it, and it's come a long way since then. We never had any cattle here ourselves, but it did have some in previous owners. We did have 6 horses for a good number of years. But I wasn't exactly born into a farming family. Until we got this place, I didn't really do much with it, although I was always fascinated by farm equipment. So after we moved in here, I did end up helping on. There's 2 local dairy farms here I started helping out on, and I took to it really quick. I enjoyed every minute of it. And to be honest, I had some of the best times of my life working on these farms, which they had dairy cows at the time. And the one that I spent my most time on, they also had beefers. Well, so throughout high school, well, I'd say early high school and from there on out, I'd be over there all the time. Always wanted to be at the farm. I learned a lot and I enjoyed a lot, and it's like my dad told me long ago, that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Well, that was the case with that, and if I remember correctly, I started doing that like the age 12 or 13. Well, the first tractor on this farm was a late style John Deere B that we actually purchased from the one farm that I worked at. It needed work. It wasn't running, but my dad was mechanically inclined. But unfortunately, due to other things coming up, we were never able to get it running. But the original owner's nephew or great-nephew, I can't remember which, knew we had bought it and stopped and asked about purchasing it, and ultimately we did sell it to him. But the first running tractor we actually do still have, which is that Oliver 770 diesel. Now we do have 4 tractors. We have my 53 Super H, the 770 diesel, and I'm not sure if you can see it too well back there, but that is my 656. And there is another one, but that's over at my house, which is only like a 5 to 8 mile drive from here, and that's a Massey Ferguson 65 diesel, which I will do videos on each of them, kind of give them a little background on them and how we came to get them and so on and so forth. Well, it's now years later, and my mom grows pumpkins. She loves to do that kind of stuff. She's always enjoyed it, so we do plow up ground for them. And now I don't spend as much time over at the other farms because the one is no longer going anymore, and the other one is just straight up beef cow, so there's not a whole lot to do, particularly during the wintertime, aside from feeding and cleaning pens and so on and so forth. But during crop season, I do help with the field work and unloading hay and so on and so forth, which surprisingly enough, there is places in my area that still do small square bales. Here, we have talked about getting animals again. We're not entirely sure. See, this barn did not look entirely like this. It just kind of became storage after the horses left because my mom had gotten really bad arthritis and she wasn't able to care for them as much as she would. And at that point, I had grown up and was moved out too, so it's not like I was here anymore. But now that things have kind of fallen into place a little better, we're kind of talking about it again, possibly maybe 1 or 2 horses for Mom and maybe a beef cow or so. It's all in discussion, but I would like, personally myself right now, I'm trying to get into doing a little bit of crop farming, I think. I'd like to make some hay because there's some land around here that can be done on. And I'm going to work towards getting that. And the 3 tractors I bought, which be both Farmals and the Massey, I acquired all this year, which is shocking to me because I've never owned 3 tractors in one shot, let alone acquire 3 in 1 year. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's a slow go process, but we're taking it one step at a time and acquiring things as we can get them and all that. I'm not all too sure how YouTube will pan out for me, but I'm giving it a shot because I've watched One Lonely Farmer and the Zag Talking the Raw one that he has now. Farm Authentic, which he was a bit of an encouragement for me to do this. He I guess you could say, gave me a nudge, and I just ultimately decided to do it. And I also watch Ford Farmer and PA Farms, and I learn a lot from them, and it does give me motivation a lot of times for the stuff I want to achieve. But that's pretty much about it. I'm doing it inside the barn because it is pretty cold and windy out, and we got a little bit of snow blowing out there as well. There used to be, I'm trying to think, 6 stalls right here where it's open. That used to be all one stall right there. This back wall was taken out. As you can see, there was storage of stuff because my sister likes to do woodworking, and that's kind of how that ended up. That is another one. That one's still intact. The door, everything's still there. There's one more that is still intact. This used to be sawdust storage. Could store quite a bit in there. Here's another stall, which it had this fencing around it. It was like that when we bought the place, and I started taking some of it down, and then just got too busy with some other things. But over in here, you can see that there was another one down here. The door used to be generally right around in here, and then if I remember correctly, I do believe it kind of came over to about where that beam is, and then there was another stall right there. Now, the walls were taken down. I believe they're trying to do some work on the barn, which it still needs some. As you can tell, this spot here has been bad for a while, but a lot of work has been done. You can see the new wall in the back. That's been done there, but that is on the list to get taken care of. Like everybody, I'm sure, knows that life happens, and ultimately this had to pay the price, but we are working on it. This would be where cattle would have been before. I just got some firewood back in there, and just, again, storage stuff. It's getting cleaned up. It's just taken some time. We had some things happen this past year that kind of put some setbacks and everything like that, but we work at it slowly, and we do get stuff done. And firewood that I have stored here, and I had another area where there would be cows as well. Back there in that far corner, I don't know if you guys can see it, there used to be a door to a silo over there, which when we first moved in, the bottom section of the silo that was in the ground a little bit was still there. It got filled in, and we have a dumpster parked over there now. Door's still there, but no silo anymore. That's about all I can think of for my first video, I mean, this is just, like I said, trial and trying it out and seeing how it goes and if it really goes anywhere. If there's anything in particular you guys want to know about or have any questions, you can feel free to ask. I will answer the best that I can. If there's anything particular you want a video on, I can do that as well. Obviously, there's not going to be too many videos of the tractors this time of year because there really ain't much we can do right now. I mean, we have the back blade on that for snow removal if we need to. We do have a pickup with a snow plow, but just in the chance that something happens and we need that little extra, we got that. But, you know, we'll have some plowing videos. I run drags through the garden. I softened it up with that. We do not have a disc yet. We used to. We actually used to have, what was it, Massey Ferguson discs, 3-point hitch ones. And when things kind of went downhill, we ended up selling the plows that we originally bought, which were a set of Ford 3-bottoms. Massey Ferguson plows, a 6-foot brush hog, and a post hole digger. We sold the plows and the discs. We did keep the brush hog and post hole digger because we still did get quite a bit of use out of them. But we did acquire a new set of plows this year. And I acquired a few things myself as well. And looking at a few others too in time. And once that time comes, I can do a reveal video. We'll see how, you know, how I make out with people liking what I put up. I mean, you know, this, like I said, this is a whole new adventure for me. I'm just kind of trying it out, and if I get enough people that enjoy what I put up, I'll continue to do it and do it the best that I can. I guess that's about it for this. If you like it so far, do comment, rate, and subscribe. And, you know, like I said, feel free to ask anything. And if I feel comfortable answering it, I will. If not, then I'll probably just, you know, I'll let you know. But for the most part, I'm pretty much open to discussing anything. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you.